Weka 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 kwa majoro, oh weka kwa wageni, oh weka kwa wagumu, oh weka kwa majoro, weka mupunga.
Climbing Kilimanjaro was one of the most incredible and unique experiences of my life. The beautiful landscape, the tough challenges, my amazing teammates, and the exceptional guides and porters made it an outstanding experience I'll never forget.
Jambo bana, habari gani, nzuri sana, wageni, wakaribishwa, Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata.
Kilimanjaro sits 19,341 feet above sea level, or 5,895 meters above sea level, making it the largest mountain in Africa. In fact, since it's not part of a mountain chain, it's the highest freestanding mountain in the world, which means from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain has the most elevation gain. Although it doesn't require any tough mountaineering skills or special equipment, the sheer height of the mountain makes it a formidable challenge for any skill level. I did a lot of research about the mountain, research about trekking companies I could use as guides, and research about routes that I could use to make it to the top. Eventually, I chose the Lemosha route. It had the highest success rate, and I wasn't going to travel halfway around the world just to fail to make it to the top. My adventure began months before I left, with prepping, packing for the trip, and training all well ahead of time. My travel to Africa took over 27 hours as I traveled more than 9,000 miles away. When I arrived in Moshi, I was introduced to my guides and my team, and we were given a small briefing about the climb. The next day, we packed up our gear and drove to the Landarosi gate. This was a staging area. This is where we checked in, we had a lunch, and the porters weighed out their gear to ensure that they weren't carrying too much. From there, we had a short drive to the Lemosha gate, where our trek was to begin.
Great way to start. We've Kilimanjaro. We are trying to make it up the hill here, and the roads are getting really muddy, so the buses are not going to be able to make it up. So we're going to have to start a little bit early on foot just to get to the starting point. So we're unloading the gear right now, and then we're going to hit the trail. We got about a half an hour before we ever get to the actual starting point, and then it sounds like we got about a 2 or 3 hour hike after that. All right, here we are, just about ready to hit the trail. So we hiked up the road to get to this point, and this is the official starting point. We just couldn't drive up here because of the way the roads were. So here we are, let's get started. So one interesting thing about climbing Kilimanjaro is that it goes through 4 different biomes. And this first one is the rainforest. And it's not disappointing. It certainly is raining and going to give us a show. So it's getting a little damp out here. He's looking. Oh. All right, here we are at the first camp here. It's Makubwa. Probably butchering that, but it means big tree. There's a tree over here that fell down. It's stopped raining and now the sun's come out, and so it's hopefully a chance to dry some of our equipment out. All right, we're hitting the trail now, and you can see the porters are packing up the rest of our camp back here, and what they'll do is some point in time on the trail, they're going to pass us up to set up the next camp. So we're heading out right now. Sema All right, we finally passed out of the rainforest environment. Now we're in the what they called moorland environment. It's our second biome that we're traveling through. Definitely a change. It's we're a lot more out in the open now, a little less green. It's almost a little arid now. The bushes are quite a bit smaller. So yeah, so a little bit of a change in environment, but still just a gorgeous landscape. All right, we're hiking along here. We hit our high point for the day. We hit 11,580, so now we're gonna start heading back down. The reason for that is that you hike high and then you sleep low. So you hike to a higher level and that starts acclimatizing your body to the higher levels, and then you go down low to do the sleeping. Your body has a chance to adapt. And just walking into the camp here at Shira 1. All right, one thing that we do every time we hit one of these camps is we sign in. So that's what I'm about to do right now, is sign into the book.
On behalf of Kando Adventure, I would like to take this opportunity, guys, to introduce you the rest of your crew. So we are total crew. From me to the last porter, we are 36. Including 10 of you, we are becoming 46. Majoro sema, sema, usiogope sema. Majoro sema, sema, usiogope sema. Sisi majoro.
All right, day 3 of our hike, and we're finally getting some good shots of the mountain, so it's gorgeous out.
We have a corridor of volcanic mountain and a valley, like we have Gregory Rift Valley, Great Rift Valley from Ngorongoro, Lake Manyara there, and also we have mount from Uganda, Kenya. So we have a corridor of these eruption features or eruption mountain and valleys.
And you said 3 peaks here.
Is Shira, Mawenzi, and Kibo. Kibo is the last. Kibo is the one which you are talking about, Uhuru.
Okay.
So Uhuru is the highest point of Kibo. So Kibo is the one carrying Uhuru.
All right, looks like we just reached Mir Hut, and this is one of the camps. You can go one route and hit Shira 2 or come to this camp, and we're all about ready to settle in and get some lunch. This is the first track, the first leg of everything, the first day that really feels like we're hiking a mountain. And the other parts, I mean, it was still lush vegetation, and even though we were really high up on the mountain, it just didn't feel quite like a mountain. And now we're getting into this volcanic rock here, and it actually feels like we're hiking up a mountain. So we got into camp quite a few hours ago and had a chance to have lunch and settle down. A couple people took naps and just took it easy for the afternoon. And then we took a acclimatization hike. So we hiked up and that's just so we get used to the higher elevations. And our body starts adapting to these higher elevations. But then we're gonna hike back down. You can see right over in this direction, it might be actually blown in right now, but that's where our camp is. So we've hiked quite a bit further up. And then tomorrow when we start hiking, we're actually gonna be hiking the other way over this ridgeline right here.
Andrew, how was your day, sir?
It was great.
Do Do you have headache?
No.
How is your appetite?
Fine.
Are you feeling easy at home?
No.
Are you feeling tired?
A little bit tired, but just end of the day stuff. Normal tired.
So now I would like to conduct our briefing about tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll wake up at the same time. So 6:30 we'll wake up. The rain is continuously gradual from here to Lava Tower. So it seems like it'll be easy, but it's not. Oxygen is quite a problem. Mild headache, dizzy, nausea, loss of appetite, these are very common.
Zaina, 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 watoto la Kinyaro, Zaina, olinapenda mzigo, Zaina, 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 mbona hamchezi, Zaina, mmetukia nini, Zaina,
This is the first night that it got below freezing, so we woke up to a lot of ice around. So all the rain that happened last night is now frozen, or was frozen. It's starting to thaw out now that the sun has come up. And right before I got up, the wind picked up and it was just really coming at it, and seemed to pick up really fast, and then just as fast as it picked up, it died back down. And so thankfully looks like our hike is going to be a great one with lots of sun. We're going to be hiking up to a high point today, having lunch, spending some time at that high point, and then hiking back down to camp. And we'll actually camp at a lower elevation than we did camped tonight. Well, seen some great shots of Uhuru Peak. Here we are going to be in a few more days. We're going to be making it up to the top. It looks like it's just right there, like we could just run right up to it. But I guess the big thing is altitude sickness. Going straight up to it, of course, will mean that you could be battling altitude sickness. So one of the reasons why I chose the Lemosha route is because you adapt as you go along to that altitude. And so that's what we're doing, is we're taking a nice steady trek up, taking it nice and easy, so that way we can adjust, our bodies can adjust to that altitude as we go up. All right, here we have porters and groups coming in from two different directions here. So we got the Machami route that's meeting up with the Lemosha route. So from here on out, we're gonna have a few more people at our campsites. All right, made to Lava Tower. So here we are. Lava Tower is right over here on this side. We're gonna have lunch here. We're at 15,180 feet at a temporary lunch place, and the food is still amazing. Yeah, it's really coming down right now, and as you can see, all the trails, there's just water streaming down these trails. So it's a wet one, but thankfully our gear is holding up, so that's good. Well, here we are at Barranco Camp. So once again, it's really wet out here. We're gonna settle in here, probably dry some of our stuff out and spend a little time in the tent. And then, I don't know, probably, I imagine a lot of us are gonna call it an early night because it was quite a bit of trekking today.
Go,
With the group, we actually bring a restroom with us, a flushable toilet, but also at these different sites that we're camping at, you can see that they have facilities here to use the restroom. It's pretty much just a hole in the ground. Morning. Great. How are you doing?
You guys every day.
Yeah, that's right. All right, here we are at Barranco Wall, and a little more rock climbing and mountain climbing than the rest of the trip so far. And it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, so I think things are going to get a little backed up here, it sounds like. All right, we're walking across the Kissing Rock right now, named because really steep right here, and you gotta hug this rock, maybe give it a kiss. Mwah. The distances are so deceptive out of here. We are going to hike right here. That's where our next camp is. And so it doesn't look very far away. We just got to go through this canyon to get up to there. But I guess it's going to take us about 50 minutes to get over there. That would be 50, almost an hour to get over there. But lunch is waiting for us when we get over there. So I'm going to go get some lunch. Just made it to Karanga Camp, and we're feeling great, and our bodies seem to be adjusting to the altitude. So this is great because just in a couple days we'll be hiking up to the top there. I can't wait because the mountain has been teasing us. It's been getting closer and closer every day, and I'm ready to get to the top. Just now leaving to base camp, and tonight we're going to get up early to hike up to the top.
Our briefing it will conduct in 3 if not 4 parts. Wake up time, how to dress, and terrain. In short, put it on everything. Make sure you cover your body very well.
All right, still at base camp. We came in at base camp a little bit earlier today, had some lunch, took a nap, had dinner, took another nap, and here we are in the tent, getting prepped, ready to go. And it's 10:30 that we woke up. 11 o'clock we meet for our final brief and our grab a couple snacks, and then we're hitting the trail at 11:30. Well, we're getting closer to Stella Point, and we're getting closer to the peak. So we're getting excited about that. Boy, I'm really feeling the altitude at this point. Every little step takes a lot of effort. Anything extra, just taking off my micro spikes, any extra exertion like that really takes the wind out of me. So I'm feeling a little dizzy, a little tired, and so definitely the altitude is having some effect on me. But you know, I think we're getting closer, probably a couple hours away from the top. So I'm looking forward to getting to the top.
Get us up here safely.
He's my
awesome,
best
man.
friend. He's stronger than me. He made it. Everyone he made it safe, happy, joyous, and we are going to go. We are top of Africa. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yeah, man. Oh, Kilimanjaro. Thanks for guiding us here. Hey, Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata.
Hey, here we are, the last leg of our journey. It's been an amazing trip, and now we're ready to get down to our hotel room. So the last leg, yesterday, we had quite a trek, an 8K trek that was quite wild to get down to the Moika camp from base camp. And then from there, we spent the night, got up early this morning, and had breakfast, had our tipping ceremony, and then now we're hiking down. We got about 10K to make it to Moika Gate, and then from there we're going to take a bus back to the hotel. We're all looking forward to a hot shower and getting cleaned up and getting out of our dirty clothes and into some nice clean clothes. So we're all looking forward to that. I'm going to leave you off with our tipping ceremony and some songs. So have a good one. I actually did a little bit of research before I came out to choose which company I wanted to come out with, and Can-Do came to the top, and nothing was disappointing here. I mean, it was amazing.
I want to say congratulations. You make it. It was piece of cake. Okay, so he will present the porters. Thank you. Cheers. Imba basi chabu tuondoke fupi. Mbili fupi.
Weka, weka, weka kwa majoro, oh weka kwa wageni, oh weka kwa wagumu, oh weka kwa majoro, weka mpunga, weka mahela, weka kwa majoro, weka kwa jololo, hata hapa, weka kwa majoro, mambo bana, habari gani? Nzuri sana, wageni wakaribishwa wapi?